Eric and Lyle Menendez. They went in front of the parole board on Thursday and Friday. They went individually, and unfortunately, both of them were denied parole. And people, I have a lot of experience with the parole board. I went in front of the board 2 times myself. Once I was denied. The second time I was granted parole. I understand the process. I also went several times with my father while he was up for parole, who made parole 5 times, by the way. And each time after he made it, at some point in time, he violated and went back to prison. So I'm very familiar with the parole process, how it goes. And in my opinion, both boys, I think their minds were made up prior to the parole hearing even starting. You know, in a case like Lyle and Eric, who, let's face it, it was a very heinous crime. We're not going to take away from that. You know, you kill your mom and dad with shotguns. It's a very heinous crime, no doubt about it. And I think the parole board probably had that in their mind and said, listen, we're probably going to take a lot of abuse, a lot of criticism if, in fact, we do grant these 2 young men parole. Not young men anymore. They're in their 50s. They've done over 30 years in prison. And the easy way out, most of the times, is better to say no than to say yes. And they can give their reason. Now, the reasoning was, I think they took into consideration, obviously, the heinousness of the crime. And I have to keep saying that. But they also cited the fact that um, Eric, who was the younger brother, got into 2 fights, 2 altercations back in 1997 and 2011. And he also got cited for having a cell phone, which is not allowed in prison. So they said if he can't follow the rules in prison, well, then how's he going to follow the rules when he's outside? But come on. I mean, that's nonsense. You get into fights in prison, it happens. You can't help yourself. Sometimes you got to defend yourself. What are you supposed to do? Sit there and take a beating? You don't know why it happens. That's number one. Not a good excuse. And they happened so many years ago. And as far as having a cell phone, okay, it is against the rules, but come on. You know, so many people try to do that in there. And those that probably just didn't have the ability to get the cell phone, but would have gotten one if they could have tried. It's a silly reason. I think mine were made up prior, and they cited the same reason for Eric, the same reason for Lyle. So you know, listen, it's unfortunate. I told you that I was their cellmate for many many years, specifically Lyle. We were on the same tier. We were cells next door for 11 months. The boys did say that their father was abusive to them. I believe that's true. You know, I've been a supporter of them over the years. I believe that they have done a job on themselves, rehabilitating themselves in prison before they even believed that they had a shot at parole. They were upstanding citizens in prison. They helped a lot of people. They had courses. They graduated, college in there. They did a lot of good things. They really did rehabilitate themselves in there. Their entire family was behind them and wanted to see them released. And the whole, idea of release is, are you going to be a productive member of society? Are you going to play by the rules, not break the laws? And are you not going to be a danger to others? And I believe in their case, they're not. I think what happened with them and their parents is an isolated incident. Um, and again, I'm not downplaying the crime at all. It was a very heinous crime. There's no question about it. But hey, they were young. They've done over 30 some odd years. And to all appearances, they've really rehabilitated themselves. So I was disappointed. I was hoping that they did get parole. The district attorney in California and in Los Angeles fought against it. He did not want to see them paroled. He said that they did not take responsibility for their crimes, that they actually blamed the fact of their father's abuse, and that wasn't taking responsibility. They made it as an excuse. And according to the district attorney, they said, hey, you might have been abused, but it's still no excuse to kill your parents. And you know what? He's got a point with that too. But I'm for the underdog. I believe they should have been released. Now what happens? They can't go back to the parole board for another 3 years. So maybe they'll have a shot then. But prior to that, they are able to go in front of Newsom, Gavin Newsom, who's the governor, who can look at the file and he can commute their sentences or he can pardon them. You know, he has the power to do that. People were saying on social media, Trump is going to pardon them. You don't understand the law. Trump doesn't have any power over state crimes. It's a state crime that they're incarcerated for. and Trump has no ability to pardon them. That's up to the governor of the state. Trump can only pardon on federal crimes. So that's out of the question. So here we go. The saga continues, and we'll see what happens. Now it's in Newsom's hand. He has the next 30 days. My guess is that he's not going to pardon them. I don't think he will because he's looking to run for president. He don't want to take any chances. Should he pardon them and something goes wrong, then he's going to be held liable, responsible. Why didn't you listen to the parole board? But then on the other hand, he's a soft on crime guy. It's a sanctuary state. Maybe he thinks he'll appeal to those that want to defund the police. Who knows how this guy is thinking? I am not a fan of his. I think he's a phony, a hypocrite. I've called him out on social media. Anything he does, he's going to do it for his own personal agenda. He's not going to do it for the boys. He could care less if they get out, rot in prison. He doesn't care. That's the kind of guy Newsom is, in my opinion. He's let California go to hell. So, whatever he does, he's going to figure out politically what's the best move for him, and that's what he'll do. So if he believes the best move for him politically is to release the boys, then he'll do it, whether they were a danger to the community or not. That's Newsom. He lets illegal aliens, run free there, even after they've committed crimes. He's soft on crime. He's defund the police. He's all of that stuff. So he's phony and a hypocrite as far as I'm concerned. And Newsom, if you're listening, you want to bring me on your show, I'd be happy to come on and we can debate all these things. I love to let people understand from a citizen's point of view, a resident of California, just how you've destroyed the state, how you send businesses into bankruptcy, how you chase, major businesses out of the state, how you were negligent when it came to the fires and everything else, Newsom. You're a clown and a joke as far as I'm concerned. And running for president, again, it's your own personal agenda. Now, all you're going to do is do anything to be the anti-Trump. We understand your political ambition in that regard. So, hey, go for it. We'll see what the people, say in 2028, because you will be running. There's no question about it.
And my friends, before I go, I want to remind you, Franzese wine, I now have a wine branded in my name from the world's oldest vineyards. We have alcoholic wine, of course, non-alcoholic wine, huge seller now. And the taste is terrific, my friends. Really, you're going to enjoy this family atmosphere wherever you want. It's wonderful wine. You're going to enjoy the taste. You're going to love it. I guarantee it. So go to franzesewine.com before we sell out because it's moving fast. That's an offer, once again, you can't refuse with a taste you're going to love.